My goodness, Kafila khud ban jayega. And this is something very amazing. When we started the journey, we never expected that we will reach 500 plus delegates in the second year itself. And I think that is very remarkable. The credit goes to all of you who have built this event and to all the delegates here who are taking so much keen interest and support. So, I mean, we do realize that the confidence doesn't come when we know all the answers. And we don't know many answers. The confidence comes when we are ready to face all the questions. And I think we have done that as a team, and that has really worked well. May I now request Mr. R. Chandrashekhar, President NASSCOM, for his address. Sir.
Good morning, and a very warm welcome to all of you, to Dr. Amit Mitra, who is also an old friend, and Kolkata, which is my old home. It's always a pleasure to come back. To Mr. Kamal Agarwala, Mr. Dr. Omkar Rai, who is the DG STPI, Mr. Singh, MD Webel, Mr. Radhakrishnan, Mr. Rajiv Vaishnav, our Vice President, who's been comparing this morning's event, and all of you distinguished members of the audience, and in particular, all of those who have embarked on this journey of a startup and creating a product, or who are intending to do so. And I take it from the size of this audience and the scale that the fire has just begun. So I'm sure it's going to be an exciting and power-packed day here. The regional Council, the Eastern Region Product Council, has done a great job, and I must compliment Mr. Kamal Agarwala and the team for the amount of passion and effort that has gone into bringing things to this stage. But I thought I will use this opportunity to share with you the NASSCOM perspective about the present status of the product arena in India. And before I go into that, I should also mention that Kolkata would not have been the obvious bet for somebody who would say, after Bangalore, which would be the center where such a warehouse would be set up. And I think it was the relentless energy and follow-up from Dr. Mitra which actually brought that here. And I must, as I stand before you, make an honest confession that we were not that optimistic at that time. There was, in fact, there were a lot of questions. But Dr. Mitra was not only very forceful in driving it, but he was also very optimistic. And today, as I stand before you, I have no hesitation in saying that we are delighted that we were wrong, and he was right. And already in the short period of 6 months, we have had 8 startups which have come up. And while the number may not look very impressive when you look at the kind of numbers which the IT industry turns out, let me tell you that for a startup warehouse, that is a very significant number. But let me give you a broader perspective that in 2014, there was a sharp pickup in the global software usage, and worldwide spending had reached $420 billion, which is a growth of 6% over 2013. And given the kind of negative trends in the global economy, that's a very significant percentage. If you look at the software product segment in India, this matched the overall global products uptake. And in India, the growth was 12%. as against the 6% growth that took place globally. And out of this 6.1 billion, which we expect that would be achieved in the fiscal year 2015, the domestic market is the mainstay, which is 4.2 billion, and that's an indication of how rapid the absorption is and how the move towards digital India is actually evidenced by the numbers coming in from the ground. And if you look at the product ecosystem in the country, this is maturing quite rapidly with over 4,000 product firms. And this is a mix of MNCs, large integrated firms, mid-sized, pure play product firms, and emerging startups as well. And this segment employs more than 1 lakh people. As we see, India today has the 4th largest startup ecosystem in the world with about 3,200 startups. It has the fastest growing ecosystem in the world with more than 800 being added every year. And in less than a couple of years, we would be the 2nd largest in the world. And as this tremendous growth happens, and as this innovation and entrepreneurship mushrooms and drives the move towards digital India, another key national program which was launched by the Prime Minister on the 1st of July, this segment will actually be the driver of the transformation that all of us are looking forward to. And as this growth takes place, the significant domain knowledge and talent expertise that has been acquired over the years in core technology, in product management, and of course all the associated activities like sales and marketing have been growing because of the focus on global customer markets. We've also seen now an interesting trend where we have senior industry professionals moving into this segment, having worked for years in large services companies. And either they have established firms or as entrepreneurs. But either way, the Indian product industry benefits greatly from the expertise that comes from this heterogeneous talent pool. The other interesting trend is that there are a lot of cases where people from the Indian diaspora are returning back. And in many cases, such as the warehouses that we are talking about, a lot of the energy comes from this diaspora, which is happy to come back to its roots, but with the opportunity to continue to play a global role, rather than seeing it as an abdication of that possibility. Today we see the emergence of new technologies more and more in more and more verticals like education, travel, healthcare, retail. And there is also an upsurge in solutions around the mobile, cloud, SaaS or software as a service, social media, collaboration and digital technology. The BFSI, of course, is the front runner, but as the spread of this ecosystem grows, healthcare, retail, e-commerce are not far behind. And as the Indian software landscape grows, we see a strong emergence of product companies with a focus on the domestic market as well, apart from the global market. And we see a similar emergence of product companies from Kolkata and from the region overall. So now we are extremely bullish about the new startup warehouse, especially with the support which is being given by the government of West Bengal under the leadership of Dr. Mitra in this sector. So the presence of such a large number of you is a further testimony to how much of energy has been created in this field. Today, the products are focusing on some of the niche areas. The software landscape is providing greater opportunities to vendors for developing solutions that actually address very specific vertical market needs. And this is leading to a vertical outlook or an approach towards solutions. This verticalization is enabling identification of white spaces in near saturated markets and accelerate growth in new markets. More than 40% of the software firms are offering verticalized solutions, especially for ERP, project management, and analytics. The enterprise segment is the core foundation for software product firms, and ERP and CRM, customer relationship management, being the key focus areas for providers. And this segment is gaining greater and greater maturity, and almost 1/3 of the firms have a revenue of over $1 million US, with a number of startup firms also focused on this segment. The software as a service model has also enabled a large number of small and medium businesses to adopt these solutions and not only become more efficient, but also address markets globally and across the entire country. The important thing, therefore, is not just how many startups are coming up and how many new businesses are coming up, but the kind of multiplier effect that it has on the economy, and particularly on the small and medium businesses, which in India have been struggling for survival and for existence. And as the country looks towards employment and job creation, it's well known, and history is evidence to the fact that the small and medium sector has to prosper and the bulk of the jobs get created there. And today, it's the IT industry which can enable them to remain competitive in this global market. Analytics is another big area, and analytics product firms have shown a growth rate of about 40% in the last few years, while several niche players have witnessed approximately 100% growth, doubling within the first year of the launch itself. There are over 200 analytic-focused firms which have successfully developed and deployed products catering to niche business needs, which cut across specific verticals, and also horizontal-centric and other niche applications, and platforms along with enterprise business intelligence and marketing analytics functionalities. And especially as the country moves towards more and more towards e-commerce, such analytics and business intelligence becomes the key to survival. As these new technologies shape the way towards the digital economy, software product firms are betting high on these areas and on the advent of digital technologies. Increasingly, the convergence of social, mobile, analytics, big data, cloud, and Internet of Things is serving as the core foundation for building innovative solutions which leverage functionalities and best practices that cut across traditional software package landscape. 2 days ago, when the Prime Minister launched the Digital India initiative, one of the major initiatives announced by the Prime Minister was the establishment of a Center of Excellence on Internet of Things. And we are proud and delighted that NASSCOM was chosen as the partner to establish that Center of Excellence. And I do hope that as we move forward in the direction of solutions and not just applications, this combination of the innovation, the software applications and devices and the newer technologies like Internet of Things will bring forth a whole new range of new products and solutions, especially relevant for India. Demand for cognitive technology is also leading to a digital push, with product lifespans getting shorter. And hence, as a step towards digital transformation, large organizations are re-architecting their product development arms to evolve as key enablers of digital transformation. The great debate today in the industry is not whether digital transformation is happening across the world or not. It unarguably is. The question that the industry is debating is how rapidly that transformation will happen and how rapidly the industry needs to absorb, because we need to retain the hold that we have in the traditional areas, even as we prepare for the digital transformation wave that is sweeping across the world. Another very exciting development, particularly for all our young entrepreneurs and friends here, is the increasing signs of collaboration between large system integrators and innovative startups. Large companies today are under pressure from across the world from their clients to deliver innovative solutions. And in most of the cases, this gap between the innovation that exists within those firms and what the customers need is being bridged by combination and by collaboration with smaller, nimbler and more innovative firms, and combining their innovative products and solutions with the offerings of the large firms. The last few years have seen more and more clients get added to the portfolio of large providers due to partnered solutions. In other words, this combination of partnership between the large and the small firms has actually resulted in an enhancement of India's footprint across the world. Yet another trend that we are seeing is the presence of an increasingly active and supportive ecosystem. A lot of this ecosystem that is global has descended on India, has identified India as the land of opportunity from the perspective of investors, be they venture capitalists, angel investors, or private equity. So this whole ecosystem have enabled firms to hone their products and solutions to a level where they can not only enhance existing SI solutions, but also help them to drive new products and offerings. Today, for anyone with a good idea and the capability to translate that idea into practice, funding is easily available, so much so that people are asking, is this another .com bubble where the startups are being funded? But this is a golden period, and I would encourage all of you who have this thought to really grasp this opportunity and move forward. We will also be seeing more of M&A and consolidation happening to acquire niche capabilities. And at the same time, the continued thrust for innovation will lead to a lot more of strategic partnerships and collaborations. So this is the brave and exciting new world that all of you young people with innovative minds and entrepreneurial inclinations have been able to contribute. This really constitutes the hope of the country, and the entire hopes of the digital India, which the Prime Minister launched, actually rest on this ecosystem. So wish all of you all the best in your efforts. It's good to be here. Thanks to the government for all the support, the government of West Bengal, and thanks to the regional team for the tremendous job that they have been doing here. And once again, welcome to all of you.